We are currently cruising the British Virgin Islands, also known as the BVIs. The BVIs is a set of over 60 islands and cays, no further apart than a short day's sail from end to end. The short distances, beautiful nature and clear water make this a very popular location for sailors, both cruisers like us and charter businesses accommodating people to visit these places. Because of its popularity and high tourist count, there are certain spots that have become must-see stops when sailing these waters. Now we find ourselves with a week left of our cruising license, and between several gnarly weather systems passing and us being sick, we haven't actually seen much of these islands. So here we are, setting out on a 5-day speed sightseeing to explore some of the BVI's most famous spots, jumping from island to island in a speedy charter-like fashion, rather than our normal slow cruising speed.
We have left our hideout place in Cane Garden. We've been there for 5 nights, hiding for the gusts and the swell. So this is the first day we start to move around again in the BVIs. This day we took a small jump to a little cool island called Sandy Spit. It's still quite windy. We had gusts up to 28 knots on the way here, so still quite windy. But just now, after an hour we've been anchored here, the wind has died down a bit, so looks promising that we could make landfall on this little cool Sandy Spit island in a few hours maybe. So we're getting ready to jump in a dinghy and take a small tour to the Bubbly pools. We got a tip from another Swedish boat that it should be a cool place where the swell fills some natural pools. So hopefully it's a nice place. We're on our way to the Bubbly pools. Should be a 15-minute walk. It's not many people here though. I thought it would be a lot more people going this way, but so far it's too windy. Yeah. So far we're alone. It's a nice little walk so far. The Bubbly pool was a really cool experience. I think it was a great day to be here actually. There's quite a swell today, so the pool fills just perfectly. It doesn't feel too dangerous either, so I think the timing was perfect. It was really fun.
The next thing on our BVI Speedy week list is the Sandy Spit. The little sandy island just in front of where we're anchored. So we are heading back to the dinghy now, and we will dinghy over back to Linnea and to the Sandy Spit island. Maybe we should just say that it's disencouraged to actually visit the pool or enter the pools, but it's our understanding that everyone does it anyway. But I just want to put it in here that it's highly disencouraged by the government of the BVIs. So you do this at your own risk. The sandy spit has gotten its name for being on a so-called spitting distance from Dike. There is a reef on the south side that is supposed to be really good snorkeling when conditions are calm. We were lucky enough to have the beach for ourselves, but many charters plan a few hours stop here in their itinerary, so on days with better weather, it could get a bit crowded. Well, I'm going to call today's exploration a great success. The bubbly pools were really awesome, and the sandy spit, well, it was very windy. You got totally sandblasted walking around there, so I guess it would have been a lot better if the weather was calm, but then on the other hand, the bubbly pools wouldn't be that great, so I guess we can't have both. But yeah, we are going to settle in for the night here, and we have decided to stay. The wind is continuing to drop down, even though it's a bit windy and bumpy still. Good morning! This was actually a pretty good anchorage. The wind died down somewhere around midnight, I think. So it's been quite good sleep. And now we just had breakfast and are heading around the corner to a place called Great Harbor, from which we can dinghy over to the Soggy Dollar bar. I would say perfect timing to depart. There are a lot of charter boats coming into the anchorage now, so it started to be a bit crowded, but we are on our way. We have taken a mooring here in Great Harbor, and just around that corner is White Bay, where we are heading to visit the Soggy Dollar bar. And here were not many moorings left actually. I think you can see ours there, but you pay for them per night. So hopefully, since we are moving again this afternoon, hopefully we can just stay here for free during a few hours, and then we can continue. The name Soggy Dollar comes from the time when people swam in from their boats. So they swam in with dollars in their like bathing suits to the bar to buy a drink. And it's said that the drink, the painkiller, is supposed to have been invented here at Soggy Dollar. But these days it's possible to take the dinghy onto the beach. I think it looks like that at least. But we're not going to pay with Soggy Dollars, so we are going to take our little waterproof bag and just put the money in it. The Soggy Dollar was a really good experience. It was very touristy with a lot of people on the beach, but the atmosphere was great, and we met some really nice people there. So we just sat and chatted with them for an hour, and then we dinged back. So yeah, we got really soaked on the way back though. Hadn't expected that, but yeah, it's sunny and warm again, so we're drying up.
So now we're on our way to Norman Island, and it's a beautiful sail. We're rounding Tortola in an hour, and it's a really beautiful sailing.
We are beating our way between the islands. We have like 16 knots of wind and flat waters, so this is like perfect Linnea conditions. We have one reef in the main, and yeah, we're just zigzagging along among the islands. There, between that island and that island, is where we are going through.
Fun sailing!
And I'm navigating, keeping a track on the chart. Actually getting pretty cold in the water compared to like the east part of the Caribbean, where we started in Trinidad and Grenada. I think it's like 3 degrees colder, but like this, standing in the wind, that feels a lot. Today's adventure is swimming in some caves here at Norman Island. It's actually called the Caves, so it's supposed to be a lot of fish and a really cool place to snorkel and swimming, and yeah, I think that's it. Now I'm stuck. We are packing up our things. We need snorkel gear and swimsuits, and then we are ready to leave. It's kind of rainy and cloudy today, but it's no wind, so it might be a bit dark, but at least it should not be wavy there.
So we arrived at the caves. The dinghy ride of a few hundred meters, so it was okay. It looks really cool from here, so should be really nice to get into the water and check how it looks inside.
Norman Island is also known as Treasure Island, as rumor has it that this was a very popular spot for pirates to hide their treasures, and people say that the island is named after a pirate named Norman. Swimming here, you have 3 caves to swim into. Everything is open, so you don't have to hold your breath. But it is very dark in some places, so bring a flashlight if you want to see anything. The legend says that Blackbeard himself hid his treasures here. Unfortunately, we didn't find any treasures, but we saw plenty of fish and had a great time swimming in the cave system.
We are off to an early start today and we are heading just across, I think it's like 1 nautical mile. So we're heading across the little channel here, and here's supposed to be even better snorkeling around some rock formations here. So we're hoping for that, and we have a full day ahead of us. We're going to tick off I think 3 items on our to-do list.
So we have arrived to our first spot of 3 today. A little small rock formation in the sea called the Indians. It's between Norman Island and Peter Island, and it should be a very good snorkeling spot here. So we're really looking forward to jump in the water and see what's down below.
The water is so clear, but also a bit cold.
We're back from the snorkeling tour and had a small fika, and it's a really nice snorkeling here at the Indians. So if you are in the BVI sometime, definitely worth a stop. One of the best we had in the Caribbean so far, actually.
So this is our second stop for today, the infamous Willy tea restaurant. It's a floating restaurant and we are anchored just beside it. But we are stopping here for lunch today. The bay here is actually a lot more protected than I had expected. It's well protected from like all directions actually. And it was more room to anchor than people have told us. So pretty nice actually. It's calm and not rolly and not windy. It's been some time since we had that.
Except for some good food and drinks, there is a tradition here to jump from the upper deck into the very blue water. It was fun lunch entertainment to watch everyone else jump, and of course we couldn't resist doing it too.
We are soon at our third stop for today. We are back at the bats. If you have watched our latest video, you know that we had to like head out there really quick since we met some people saying that our boat dragged. It wasn't that bad, but we didn't get to finish the path. So we're heading back there and hopefully we can do it this evening. that's it for our 1 day 3 stop Speedy tour, and we are a bit tired. It's been an intense day and the sun is setting behind me. It's really beautiful, but we are hoping that we are able to get to an anchorage before it gets dark. I know we should have like 20 minutes left, so it should be okay. So yeah, now we'll probably just have some dinner and go to sleep, and then we see what happens tomorrow. Good night.
We have had a change of mind and are actually not going to go snorkeling on the last spot that we had planned, because our original plan that we were going to leave the BVIs like tomorrow, but there are several like weather systems forming around the east coast of US, and they are hitting really low, so they are affecting this area too. Which means that if we will sail tomorrow to Bahamas, it will mean that we would have to beat our way there for 5 to 6 days. So not what we had hoped for. So instead of heading up to the snorkel place here in the BVI, we are heading into the main capital on Tortola to ask for permission to stay here a few days longer, and hopefully the weather will clear up and we can go next weekend instead. So that's what we're doing now. We have actually really good sailing. The islands take all the swell and it's just a pleasant amount of wind. The thing about going to the customs now is that our cruising permit is expiring on Wednesday, and the weather doesn't look promising to sail to the Bahamas until maybe Saturday or Sunday. So we have heard that if you're lucky, you could get an extension for just a couple of days without having to pay an boat import fee or something like that. It's kind of expensive, and especially if we just want to stay here a few days longer. So we have a couple of alternative plans if they say no. But yeah, we just have to see what they say and keep our fingers crossed that they are in a good mood today. So no, you do that too for us, right? So I'm actually going to end this episode here. And you just have to make sure to check next week's video to see if we are going to the Bahamas, or if we're going to the USVI, or maybe the Dominican Republic. Yeah, we have a lot of alternatives right now, so make sure you check in, subscribe to the channel, and you can also hit the notification bell so that you know when the next episode is live. Thank you a lot for watching. It means a lot to us that you have chosen to follow our adventure. And if you'd like to support the production of this video, check out the links below, and we hope to see you again next week. Fair winds. Bye!